So the two most popular sneakers in the game right now have just been Frankenstein together, and somehow it has got people going crazy for them. So let's find out what they're all about. And here we have the box. Definitely something a little bit different, which is nice considering that we've never seen a sneaker quite like this. Comes in all over glossy cream or off-white, and you can see the top of the box keeps it fairly traditional. You've got the Jumpman and the flight text, but the special part is right in the corner. You can see that Jumpman with the Nike SB branding. Either way, let's pop the top and jump into today's pair of sneakers. It is the Jordan 4 Nike SB Pine Green. And here they are, guys. Honestly, I've got to say, when I first saw these things, when I first got them in hand, I was definitely met with a few mixed feelings. And I think one of the wildest things is just how hyped these sneakers quickly became. Like, I first realized that these were going to be a problem when my non-sneakerhead friends started asking about them. Like, yo, you see those Jordan 4 Nike SBs? When are they dropping? But given all of that hype, let's talk about the release details. These actually dropped today, which is March the 21st. I mean, these are an SP, meaning special project, so they're definitely more limited than a standard pair of Jordan. Now, along with this special project being more limited, they also bumped the price tag up. So these retail for £205 here in the UK, or out in the US is $225. Alright, so first thing I want to mention that is pretty important is the fact that this is the first ever Nike SB Jordan 4. That right there is definitely a contributing factor to why these are so popular. These two divisions of Nike have worked together in the past on different models, mostly the Jordan 1, but yeah, this is the first time ever on a pair of 4s. Now, I really like the idea of basketball and skateboarding coming together, being the two biggest sports that contribute to sneaker culture in general. But how practical this shoe is definitely more debatable. Like, I'm not too sure how many skaters would actually use a pair of Jordan 4s to skate in if they're the most practical shoes to actually do that with. I mean, given how expensive this pair of sneakers is as well, and usually if you're skating in a pair of shoes, they get absolutely thrashed. Now, personally, I'm not a skater, so you're gonna have to let me know down in the comment section. And I think another contributing factor to why these may not be the most practical skateboarding shoes is just how uncomfortable the Jordan 4 is in general. Today's video is sponsored by Represent, and guys, they've dropped one of their cleanest collections yet. So real quick, let me show you guys some of my favorite pieces. They just dropped their full Spring/Summer 23 collection called Storms in Heaven. They added this new angel graphic to their iconic racing green and cobalt hoodies, which takes them to a whole new level. Now, personally, I sized down to a small for a more cropped look, but they do fit true to size, so stick with that if you want a more classic oversized look. And pairing the hoodies with the new shorts will go hard in the warmer months. These shorts are insanely comfortable with a super soft meshing on the interior and an above the knee cut. One of their new most popular pieces are the utility pants. These are made with luxury French cotton fabric and metal hardware. You also find embroidery on the back of them. These pants are definitely more of a wider, more oversized fit. For reference, I'm a 30 waist, so I went with a size small, but I would recommend sizing down if you want a less oversized look. The initial denim is one of my personal favorites and ideal if you want something a little bit more unique. It is insane quality, fits true to size, and really adds something a little bit different to the outfit. Now, I see you eyeing up the footwear. That's right, I finally got my hands on the Represent Viper, and let me tell you, these things are even better in hand. They're made from ballistic nylon and tumbled leather with embroidered details and fit true to size. Now, I went for the triple white colorway, which keeps on selling out, but they did just launch a new cream colorway, which is also fire. There is a ton of incredible pieces as part of this new collection, so check them all out with the links down in the description. Huge thanks to Represent for sponsoring today's video, but let's get back to it. I'm definitely not saying it's horrendous, but in terms of like the Jordan brand line, I've always personally found that the Jordan 4 is definitely not the most comfortable. And of course, leading up to the release of these things, there was a bunch of rumors going around about all of the different modifications that they made to this sneaker to make it better detailed for skating. Like the rumors of a much more puffy tongue and a super padded ankle area, which would have made sense considering that Nike SB dunks usually are a lot more padded in general. That includes the tongue and the ankle area. I was super excited about a more puffy tongue and ankle area. I thought well, hey, that could make this pair of shoes way more comfortable. Well, unfortunately, I've been wearing them, and that's not exactly the case. The tongue and the sock liner feel pretty much the same to me. I mean, maybe you could say that the tongue is a little bit more padded. If it is, it's hardly noticeable. And I certainly didn't feel a difference on foot. Like, they feel exactly the same to me as a standard pair of Jordan 4s. There are, however, quite a few really good changes that they made about this pair of shoes, not just for skaters, but people who just want to wear these things casually as well. And that actually starts with the shape. Jordan Brand said that they've gone back to the OG 1989 shape of the Jordan 4. It's most noticeable around the toe box for an improved fit, which I definitely think people will be happy about. My favorite detail on this pair of shoes is actually something that took a while to get used to. Like, initially first getting this pair of shoes in hand, it was pretty weird. That is the soft malleable rubber in replacement of the hard plastics found on a normal pair of Jordan 4s. So this entire back tab over here just feels super soft. It's not just this extended rubber piece, it's also this entire part back here. So it just makes the entire back of the shoes so much more malleable and soft. While we're talking about the back of the shoes, of course, one of the biggest visual changes to this pair of sneakers, and probably a contributor to the hype of them as well, is the Nike SB branding on the back of the heel. I think most people can agree the Nike SB branding does look pretty sick over there on the back. Now, they also changed the material on the eye-stay strap, so this is also that very same super malleable soft rubber that they placed on the back. It feels really nice, and I actually kind of prefer it to a regular pair of Jordan 4s. Now, all of the plastic meshing that you find underneath the laces and of course on the medial and lateral sides of the sneaker is all still the regular plastic meshing. They didn't change this material whatsoever. I kind of thought it would be cool if they made this that same soft rubber. I think that potentially could have made this sneaker a little bit more comfortable, but I'm not entirely sure. I've never felt anything other than the regular. And of course, that brings us to the general color blocking of this pair of shoes, being the military style, so same as the military blue Jordan 4s or the military blacks. I absolutely love this color blocking. I think it looked insanely good, and something that they did to kind of level up this pair of shoes is the fact that the entire upper is not solid white. It's actually a little bit off-white or slightly cream. If I put it side by side with the military blacks, you can see the military blacks are solid white, and this one just has a slightly toned down hue, which is really, really good looking. I just love that it's just this off-white color. Now, along with all of the pine green accents that you find on this pair of shoes, you also have some tasteful splashes of red. Find that red on the tongue for the Jumpman, and then around to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got the Nike branding, and then a very sneaky little hit of red on the inside of the air unit. You can see that's all red as well. The insole is also red and has the Nike SB branding, and something that I was kind of curious about was if the insole was thicker to make this more comfortable. Quick answer, it's not. It's the exact same thickness as any standard insole from any other Jordan 4. And the last major difference between this and a standard pair of Jordan 4s is that outsole. You can see they've added some gum splashes towards the back and the forefoot of the sneaker. Obviously added the gum outsole because it is more grippy for skateboarders, but I will say aesthetically speaking, I kind of would have preferred if it didn't have the gum outsole, but it makes sense from this collaboration standpoint. The leather that covers the upper feels pretty good. It's nothing insanely different to a regular pair of Jordan 4s. It's actually kind of just what you would expect. Obviously, this being the military color blocking, you've got that suede that wraps around the toe box, kind of acting as the mud guard. This suede is definitely different to the military blacks. This one is a lot more hairy. You can see in comparison to the military blacks, it does have a lot more fluff to it, and this one is a lot more short on the military black, so I actually kind of prefer that. How about on foot? Anything changed? Do these feel different when you're walking around on them? Well, like I said, not really. These pretty much feel like a standard Jordan 4. I will say that some people will be super happy about this being a lot softer. For some people on a standard pair of Jordan 4s, this back tab actually rubbed into their ankles. I never had that issue. So in terms of sizing, I would recommend sticking with the exact same size that you normally get Jordan 4s in. For me, that is true to size, so that's what I'm going to recommend to you. It's definitely a dope sneaker. The colorway looks great on foot. Overall, it's just a really good looking pair of shoes. Is it worth the hype? Well, that's something I'm gonna let you decide down in the comment section. But hey, let me know what you think of the Jordan 4 Nike SB down in the comment section, and hey, if you want to get updated on all of the latest sneaker releases, well, that video's right there.